Today we're talking about consistency. If you really want to excel in anything you do, consistency is one of the main things that will get you there. And in the last video, we talked about something important. We broke down why starting feels so hard. We talked about your brain, and we used the 2-minute rule to solve that starting problem. And if you actually tried it, you already know it works. You probably had a great first day, maybe even a great first week, and then you stopped. Now that didn't happen because you're lazy, and it didn't happen because you don't care. It happened because starting once and staying consistent are two completely different problems. And almost nobody teaches you how to solve the second one. So in this video, I'm going to show you the complete system that fixes that. Not just how to start, but how to stay consistent long enough that things actually change. And by the way, I'm not just saying this randomly. I'm a life coach. I've dealt with a lot of real problems myself, figured out what actually works, and solving difficult life problems is what I spend most of my time doing. So this is not theory. This is a system that works with how your brain actually operates. All right, let's get into it. I call this system the momentum loop. It's a 4-part system built around how your brain works. Not willpower, not motivation, not discipline. A system, one that keeps running, even when you don't feel like it. Let's break it down. Before we go into the system, let's quickly understand why people still fail even after they start. Think about the last time you started something. A workout, a study plan, a project. Day 1, you're locked in. Day 3, still going. Day 7, you miss one day. You tell yourself, I'll do it tomorrow. Then tomorrow becomes the next day. And before you know it, 2 weeks pass and it's like you never started. That cycle, right? There is the real problem. And here's what's actually happening. When you start something, your brain gives you a small dopamine hit. That feeling of finally, I'm doing this. But that feeling fades quickly. And once it fades, your old habits come back. So if you're relying on motivation to carry you, you're going to fall off. Because motivation is a feeling, and feelings don't stay. What you need instead is a system. A loop that keeps running whether you feel like it or not. That's what this is. So here's how the momentum loop works. It has 4 parts. They work together. They feed into each other. And once it's running, it becomes harder to stop than to continue. Part 1, the entry point. Part 2, the reward loop. Part 3, the friction war. Part 4, the reset protocol. Let's go through them one by one. Part 1, the entry point. You already know this. This is the 2-minute rule. Your only job is to start. 2 minutes, that's it. But here's the upgrade most people miss. Your entry point must be connected to something fixed in your day. A trigger. Not, I'll do it when I feel ready. That's not a system. That's hope. Instead, you anchor it. For example, after I make my morning tea, I open my notes. After I brush my teeth, I read 1 page. The first action is automatic. The second one becomes attached to it. Your brain works in patterns. So when you link a new habit to something you already do, it becomes easier to repeat. You're not relying on willpower anymore. You're just following a sequence. Part 2, the reward loop. This is where most people get it wrong. Your brain runs on reward. But not just reward, anticipation of reward. That's why things like scrolling feel addictive. Because every swipe might give you something new. But with most goals, the reward is too far away. Finish the course. Build the business. Get results. That's too far for your brain to stay engaged. So you bring the reward closer. Every time you complete your task, even a small one, you give yourself something immediate. A short break. Something you enjoy. A moment you look forward to. And it has to come after the work. Not before. Not during. After. Because now your brain starts linking effort with something positive. And over time, the work itself starts to feel easier to approach. Part 3, the friction war. This is the part people ignore, but it changes everything. You don't decide in the moment whether you'll start a task. You decided earlier when you set up your environment. If your phone is next to you while you're working, you already made it harder to focus. If everything you need is buried somewhere, you already made it harder to start. So the goal here is simple. Remove friction from what you want to do and add friction to what distracts you. Put your tools out the night before. Keep your space ready. Move distractions away. Make starting easier than avoiding, because your brain will always choose the easier path. So you design the path. Part 4. The reset protocol. This is the most important part of the entire system, because this is where most people fail. You will miss a day. That's normal. But what destroys consistency is not missing once. It's missing and not coming back. So here's the rule. Never miss twice. 1 miss is a mistake. 2 misses becomes a pattern. So the moment you miss, you don't wait. You come back immediately with the smallest version. 1 minute, 1 page, 1 set. You're not trying to catch up. You're just proving that the loop is still alive. Because once your brain sees that the habit still exists, it's easier to continue. This is how you avoid restarting from zero. Now let's put everything together in a simple example. Let's say you want to build a writing habit. Here's what it looks like. Entry point: after brushing your teeth, you write for 2 minutes. Reward loop: after writing, you sit down with a cup of tea and relax. Friction warrior: notes are already open. Your phone is away. Everything is ready. Reset protocol: if you miss a day, the next day you write for 5 minutes. No excuses. Week 1 feels hard. Week 2 gets easier. By week 4, not doing it starts to feel strange. That's the loop working. And here's the truth I want to leave you with. This system is simple, but it only works if you use it, especially on the days you don't feel like it. Because motivation will always come and go. But a system like this keeps you moving even when it's gone. So here's what I want you to do right now. Pick one habit. Just one. Choose your trigger. Set your entry point. And start today. Because once you build consistency, everything else starts to compound. And this time, you're not just starting. You're building something that actually lasts. If this helped you, share it with someone who needs it. And if you want me to go deeper into any part of this system, let me know in the comments. I'll see you in the next one.